Good morning, my beautiful crime family. It's been a while since I did a Javatime, but it's kind of late for a Javatime, but people still drink coffee at this time, I guess. It might not even be morning. It isn't morning in some places. So, but good morning to what? Over half the country, anyway, I think. Something like that. And wherever else you are, I don't know if it's morning or not. But anyway, good day. And I thought I'd run something because run across a couple of things. One that's newer, and then one it's been a while since. I don't know if we looked at this one or not, but it's time to look at it again. So that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, something like that. Um, I haven't slept, so if I nod off, just give me a shake. But I do feel wide awake. Lost a really good friend, uh, which is a really bummer. He was a club owner, and I worked with him. He also owned a pizza place, and I worked when I was younger and I was raising my kids. I worked at his pizzeria place, and then later he bought a club, and he hired my band for 6 months on contract, 3 nights a week. And by the time we were done, we were really tight. I mean, really, really, really tight. And which helped us get some really good gigs. And that was probably one of the better bands, if not the best band I was ever in. And a lot of good times with that guy, man. A lot of good times. We'd be up there and up on stage, and he'd always order the band cherry bombs. Oh my god. Made with Everclear, I mean, holy shit. Yeah, a lot of good times with that guy. But anyway, so we'll get on with the show. But first, I want to say hi to my crime family. Sudi, good to see you. Why be so nosy? Good to see you. And David Clayton, good to see you, brother. And Debbie Gazzardo, my girl, good to see you. Social Glow, good to see you. And let me scroll up. Joey, my brother, good to see you. Jane Kendall, good to see you. And Teresa, good to see you. Few chatters out there, but I think there's more out there that aren't chatting. Paco, good to see you. Yeah, I think that's the chatters. Yeah, good to see you, and thank you for chatting. And when Maiden Nut, good to see you. Yeah. So anyway, let's get on with this. What I want to show you and talk about a little bit. Yeah, we'll just get right to it. And this is from Cooler. And this is kind of interesting. I think I'm going to read it here. I tracked down, this is from Olivia, all right, Kaylee's sister. This is on, so just a few days after the atrocity. Her driver, I found the neighbor's ring camera footage. So she beat the cops to this ring camera? Are you serious? What was her reason for going there so quickly and grabbing that footage before the police? You ever ask yourself that? I want to see what you guys say here. You ever ask yourself that? Why did she go there before the cops to get that? What was it? What was she after? I don't get it. Then she said it was an Uber driver, which she changed later to a private driver. Let's keep. Yeah, and now someone sent this snapshot. This got leaked out, right? And why'd they leak it out? Well, for one thing, this is at the time 1:56 a.m. and there is no Uber driver there. Okay, the Gonzalez's had access to the 1112 King Road camera from the beginning. Police evidence. How did Olivia get the ring camera footage? What were they really looking for? And yeah, these are good questions. These are things that should be asked. Why did she run so fast and get that footage before the cops got it? MPD press release updated on the 25th of November of 2022. The time Kaylee and Maddie were dropped off at 11:22 changed from 1:45 a.m. to 1:56 a.m. based upon digital evidence. Timeline shifts 11 minutes. And this is just really strange, folks. This is just really strange. And a press release here. See if I can read this. Oh, I should blow this up, right? On the evening of November 12th, Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan were at a local bar called Corner Club at 202 North Main Street in downtown Moscow between 10 p.m. and 1:30 a.m. on November 13th. At approximately 1:40 a.m., Kaylee and Madison were seen on video at a local food vendor called the Grub Truck at 3 blah, 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 and used a private party for a ride home. A private party. Now it's changed from an Uber driver to a private party for a ride home downtown to arrive at their 1122 King Road residence around 1:56 a.m. Arrival time has been updated based on digital evidence collected by investigators. The last MPD press release was on the 23rd of November, 2022, and stated used a private party for a ride home from downtown to arrive at their 1122 King Road residence at 1:45 a.m. So it changed. For 17 a.m. PCA, 4:20 a.m. PCA, and 4:23 a.m. LLV. And again, here's this picture that was leaked. That nobody, I don't think anybody ever hear where that was leaked from. No, I don't. I might have seen him. Why be so nosy? If I haven't posted him, I don't think myself. But that's a good question. Well, Adam was the bartender. I think there's been some stuff out on him. Yeah, let me see what you guys are all saying here. Exactly, Joe. Why isn't there any video from the Corner Club and just a pic? And just a pic of Adam the bartender by the door, Kaylee and Maddie talking to Jack. Is that just to prove that Jack was there? It makes me wonder. Yeah, Deborah, Cooler Wheelchair's got some good stuff. If you haven't subscribed to her, I definitely would. Yeah, and that's another thing. 13th juror. Yeah, how did she find out so fast about the Grub Truck video? So she grabbed 2 different videos before the police did. Now, it makes me wonder, what was her motives for that? Was it just a sister wanting to, but actually that's not right. That's isn't that like messing around with police investigation? Yeah, that's good questions there, 13th juror, no doubt. And what Eddie have to say here? Oh, it's good to see you, Eddie, on Lana the other night there too. I still got to finish that up. No, it's like an hour and 11 minutes, and I started getting tired. Yeah, something is off about the private driver. It is. I mean, there's something isn't quite right about that. and why they changed it from an Uber driver to a private driver. You know, I used to like when people got down on any family members, it kind of bummed me out. But you can't even blame them with the stuff that's going on and that has happened. And we have to look at it. We have to look at it. It's something we have to look at and ask questions. Yeah. Hey Yuri, how you doing? Good to see you. Okay, so anyway, let's keep going on this. Okay, so November 2022. How did she know about the ring camera at 1112 King Road? How did she know to go get it? Of course, it's probably easy to figure out. It's next door, but why didn't the police have it by that time? I guess that's the biggest question, isn't it? Because she got it on the 18th of November, I think it was, and so that's like 5 days. And the cops hadn't got the next door's camera yet? Are you serious? And who told her? We know from the news. Yeah, who told her that it was still available? Who told her? Who told her that the police didn't already have it in their investigation? That's a big one right here, too. Who told her? Who told her? Was it a cop that said, hey, we're going to leave this for you? Go get it. Do whatever you want with it. I don't know. I don't know. And it's like, who leaked that picture? Who leaked that one picture? We know from the numerous interviews that the Gonzalez have plagued us with that they have family in Moscow, a niece, etc. So did they scout the area, find the camera, and approach the students living at 1112 King Road? Did Jack DeCour know about the camera? Did the students at 1112 King Road naively upload the data from the cloud and pass it over to the Gonzalez, Jack D, a friend or a family member? And yet, how long have the defense waited for this video in discovery? And yet, how long have the defense waited for this video discovery? Vital evidence, and Olivia broadcasted to the killer. What was she really looking for? These are all good questions. Okay, and this is Cooler Lucher. I'll show you the page. She only has 832 subscribers. I'd like to see that grow a little bit. And this only got 1,600 or 629 views 15 hours ago. So yeah, she does have good stuff. So she's a good one to subscribe to. So yeah, there's one right there that I find very interesting. Yeah, exactly, 13th juror. If I found out something like this happened to my sister, I would not even think to be looking into all that stuff so soon. One's mind cannot function properly after a tragedy like this. Yeah, you'd think she'd be wanting to be by her parents and taking care of family matters. But then, yeah, we have to think at all angles. And maybe she was a sleuthy type like Kaylee was, and wanted to know that could be I guess my biggest question is why the police didn't have it. Why why didn't the police have it by then? The next door neighbors. The next door neighbors can. What the hell? 5 days and they didn't have it? To me, that's negligence. That's poor horseshit detective work. Maybe they didn't want to have it. Crazy. That's all I can say about that. Just totally absurd. Anyway, that's Cooler Lucher. Another one I wanted to go over. Let me set this up here. I gotta wait for this ad to end here. Oh my God, it's one of those awful ones that last forever. I'm gonna refresh it. It's supposed to, there we go. Okay, now I might have ran this. This is 4 months old, so I might have ran this. Yeah, well, that's like when my son died. My son was murdered. Well, I did get into detective mode, kind of, but I called my brother's a lawyer, and I called him, and he got his law firm and another law firm involved, and they sent an investigator over. But it was after that, after a while, that I did do some investigating. I don't know how many days or anything like that. I can't remember because it's been quite a while ago. But anyway, so this one I ran like 4 months ago, or I don't know if I ran it. It's 4 months old. It's very good, and it's from one of my favorites, and he's a friend of mine, and his name, and I bet you all know him, Casper West. So let me run Casper's, because this should be looked at again. And here we go.
Holy shit, we have another bomb interview. Basically, there's this kid named Dave, and he said there were a bunch of Snapchat groups that he knew about that morning, hours before the first 911 call. Dave is the first person to come forward that has a similar story to what Kim's daughter was saying.
What? Snapchat's basically saying that I did not use Snapchat for 12, 13 hours all day Sunday. That is not true. That is not true.
At the same time,
I guess the question is can the FBI take that data? Snapchat.
Of course. The FBI has the capability of asking these providers to not publish such information and making sort of disappear.
But there are still many unanswered questions. Why did the surviving roommates wait almost 8 hours after the murders to call 911? Why did the killer spare the life of Kaylee Gonzalez's dog? And perhaps most important, why were the lives of 2 roommates spared?
The surviving roommate in the Idaho College killings failed to call 911 the night of the slayings because she apparently believed the killer was a party guest.
One of the details that we've come to learn is that she didn't think anything other than just noisy roommates was a problem. She thought her roommates were horsing around and being loud in the middle of the night.
Shocking new revelations in the brutal murders of 4 Idaho college students last fall. A new report claims the 2 roommates who survived the massacre were awake and texting each other while their 4 friends were stabbed to death one by one.
Yeah. What did you say to Adam? I told Adam.
There's a narrative being pushed in the mainstream media about the Idaho slayings. Incel, college student, pushed to kill. If you believe these stories, then you are still asleep to the tricks that are being played. For instance, out of the many girls on the Wazoo campus where Brian was attending, wouldn't it be more likely that this incel activator would have activated a long time ago? Yet the media have yet to explain a clear motive of a person with no link to the victims. Even after many witnesses on Snapchat stated that multiple people were in the house at that time, surviving roommate Dylan, who was in the house at the time, stated that she only saw one person with bushy eyebrows. It had me thinking, was there a mole in the house? The killers knew exactly what time to hit the spot and exactly where to go. And the sliding door was surprisingly left unlocked so that the killer may enter. Also, other friends were called to the home before calling 911. 8 hours later. This was 100% planned, but why? And by who?
This was 100% planned, and there's no doubt in my mind.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
Yeah. The fact that he's coming forward, it takes a lot of courage, and I don't want his life to be affected in a negative way because of internet sleuths.
And I think it's time to listen to this Dave again, just to see. I mean, it's been a while.
So we pitched down his voice and we didn't show his face at all because we want to protect him.
I was telling you the other day, it's like cracking back into trauma, you know, and just like a bunch of stuff that you just want to forget.
So right now we are looking up messages that were in the Snapchat group that Dave was a part of.
I'm pretty sure that's it. But that does not look like 3 days worth of Snapchats that I even sent today.
Sent, saved, chat. And these are your messages.
Yeah.
That's it.
This is.
And it wouldn't even show.
This looks like everything that I like can see or can send. Wait, look at the dates. The 12th.
The 12th. So 13th.
Look at the timestamp. 05:16 in the morning. Look at the next timestamp. 17:35. What? Snapchat's basically saying that I did not use Snapchat for 12, 13 hours all day Sunday. That is not true. That is not true.
At the same time.
That's just the group chat. That's not even my individual snaps. Where are all of my snaps that I sent to people asking if they were okay? And this is saying, this is 2 ways, right? This is saying that I didn't message anybody for 12 hours and nobody messaged me for 12 hours. That's also considering all of the other group chats I was in too.
Mm-hmm.
Radio silent for 12 hours? No. Guaranteed, no.
So Dave is telling the truth here. If Dave was telling the truth here, you know, who took that data out of Snapchat? If he's telling the truth, I don't see any reason for this person to lie. It just makes you wonder. And for anybody that uses Snapchat all the time, and then there's 12 to 13 hours where there's no activity at all, nobody even messaging him, that just is really, really, really odd. Exactly. Well, I think that the good vibes light was on, but still, if you look at where Dylan's door is, she would have seen the back of his head more than his eyebrows. She would have seen the back of his head, is what I've figured out. Yeah, there's a whole lot of missing data everywhere, Carrie. And then when you have a prosecution that won't hand over discovery on key pieces to the case. Now, one of the pieces that they're not handing over, and I'll bet you this is still one of them, because Anne is still pretty much saying that there's stuff missing, and I'll bet you money it's the video footage of what's the name of the place? The weed place. Lloyd's, is it, or Floyd's, or whatever, the weed place. Because that film, that footage would show that he did not drive by. He did not drive by. It isn't that it's going to show him, it's going to not show him driving by. And that's why they don't want to hand it over. That's my opinion. Floyd's Cannabis. Thank you, Commercial Zone. I'm sorry, the old brain doesn't work sometimes. And that's a huge piece, because if it shows that he did not drive by, that means he was on his way to Wee Park. And that's why they're not handing that over. Why are they so determined to get Brian Kohlberger? It doesn't make sense. They have no case. They have no case. Anne knows what they have, except for, and Anne knows that Brian is not guilty. She knows 100% that he is not guilty. I just don't understand why they keep trying when they don't have anything. This was a botched investigation from the get-go. I mean, if you have a film from the next door neighbors and Olivia finds it 5 days after, they didn't even go and get the cam from the next door neighbor. That should have been done that day. What the hell's wrong with them? Were they trying to botch the investigation? Did they not want that evidence? They were out looking at screech marks that were made a long time ago. before the crime even happened. They looked at everything that doesn't line up with who did it. They're looking at everything. They're pushing it aside. They did not want to look at certain things. And they could have had the grub truck. That should have been grabbed by the police also. It's just crazy. Let's keep going here.
Today, I'm going to be meeting with Kim, and this is the first time that she will be seen on camera.
To recap, your daughter claims that in the hours before the police were called, she and a group of other students were in a Snapchat group discussing the murders.
Do you remember details that your daughter told you about what was in the Snapchat group?
So the details were there was multiple people inside, and the girls had seen somebody outside, and that is why they locked themselves in the room. And they were awake, aware.
And yes, 13th juror, there was a huge party at Matt's, which is right there by 1122. We know that because the people at the band field told us that. Where'd you come from? A party. What? Whose house was it? Matt's. That's what they told the police officers. Matt's. There was a huge party there. And that's another thing. Here Kaylee got a job. She's celebrating. She just got a new car, a Range Rover. She comes up here, and they're not partying at the house on Saturday night. And I mean, they're going out, they're doing things, but on other nights, I mean, everybody was there. The night before, everybody was there. Like 100 and some people were there. But yet people tell me, oh, there couldn't be that many people involved. That place is a weird place. And it wasn't long after, I think it was in February or something, or was it last February? I don't know, some February, where that fight happened. And there was 100 people there, 100 and some people out in the street. Yes, it can happen. And where'd that happen? Right by Sigmund Chi. And what did I say in that one video that I disturbed everybody with? It happened in the street with Ethan and Xana. On the way home. They still don't know where Ethan and Xana were between what, 9 and 1:45? Something like that. They still really cannot prove. Bethany said she's seen him at the party. But they had to walk home. Now, my first thing is I go to is the Linda Lane thing, that they went over to Linda Lane, and I think there was fighting going on there earlier in the night, and they could have got involved something there, or like I was told, no, it happened in the street on the way home. And yes, it could have. And even the screaming and stuff, people are used to that kind of stuff in a college town, in a college neighborhood. And that's the problem, is it was a college neighborhood. And yes, they can keep things quiet for a long time. And I've showed that in my videos, where that them college kids kept that secret for 35 years. 35 years. So I don't like it when people say, oh, they can't keep there's too many people involved, they would never be able to keep it secret. But hell, they can't. Especially if they feel like they're involved. They didn't call the police. They all know who did this. They all know who did this. And I think even the police officers, or most of them, or some of them. let's keep going.
And then they called friends to come over.
But the Snapchat groups, I feel like, could be the one piece of really evidence is people want to see things on paper. And
sure, when you have Snapchats out there and text messages out there, that there wasn't just one person there, and that kids were on the scene, in the crime scene, in the house. And how could you not call 911 when you heard those screams? And you can't tell me they didn't scream. All I'm saying is
1,000 frickin' %. You can't tell me they didn't hear the screams. If it happened in the house, there is no way in hell they didn't hear the screams. Not that I believe that it all happened in the house.
is that it's a really small town. This is a really bad crime. I hope that the students are as involved as I believe that they are.
So I get that very strongly. So there's a mole in the house. Now, the mole could be working for the good side or the bad side, the crime family or the cops, right? Like, I don't know which side. And sometimes the cops can be bad and the crime family can be good because it's all flipped and crazy.
Police have reiterated that this appears to be a targeted attack with no signs of forced entry into the home.
Locks like this. A former tenant posted this photo and says all 6 bedrooms had combination locks.
It's believed the students had a lock on the door similar to this. This is a keypad lock, and I'm at AAA Architectural Hardware in Manhattan with Richard Brown, who is the owner. Are these things reliable?
They're very reliable when they're installed properly and when they're used properly. You press the code that was pre-programmed in, push down on the lever handle, open the door.
Yes, Bubs. Yes. Let me redo this here. Well, it's doing that, or I can't see it. Yeah, we have two deceased, and that's another thing. Those deaths are related. I do believe those deaths are related to this case. I mean, and then you think of the small town and what's going. There is something just dirty, and why can't some people see this? How dirty it is. But I do believe that Ann Taylor is going to expose things that are going to crush that city. Things that have never been exposed before. Because I think they're messing with the wrong person in Ann Taylor and her crew. I think they're well prepared. I think they know exactly. They are 100% convinced that Brian Kohlberger is innocent. And you know why I think they're 100% convinced? It's because of one thing, Cy Ray. And for another thing, I think she knows who did it. I think she knows who did it. And I think that might be exposed at some time during the trial. I think they're messing with the wrong person in Ann Taylor. That's my opinion. And this is very interesting here too. This lock. I told you guys. All the locks were changed to these
signs
right
of forced
here.
entry into the home.
Locks like this. A former tenant posted this photo and says all 6 bedrooms had combination locks.
It's believed the students had a lock on the door similar to this. This is a keypad lock, and I'm at AAA Architectural Hardware in Manhattan with Richard Brown, who is the owner. Are these things reliable?
They're very reliable when they're installed properly and when they're used properly. You press the code that was pre-programmed in, push down on the lever handle, open the door, and then close the door behind you. And it should be locked.
I also then whipped right over.
Now, If this happened in the house, then they went through the windows. They didn't go in the house. They went, I would say, 2, just like Mama D said, 2 in the one window and 2 in the other window. And then they left the window, out the window, and that's why there's no blood anywhere. And the latent shoe print, I do believe is Dylan's. That's who I think it is. Or part of the cleanup. Well, there wouldn't have been a cleanup crew. There wouldn't have been. Because they would have went in both windows and out the windows. There would have been no blood. That would explain that right there. The latent footprint would have to be like Dylan's or Bethany's, but they would hide that. If they're trying to push, I don't understand why they're trying. I mean, the prosecution has to know this man is innocent. They have to know. They have that footage from, what was it, Floyd's weed shop or whatever. They have to have that footage. They know that he's innocent. They know that he's innocent. And they keep pushing. What the hell?
To Dylan, and there is a complete mask over her energy field. I cannot read her for the life of me, and she is not who she presents herself to be. I will tell you that. I feel like it's a complete inversion. It's completely inverted. It's not as she presents herself.
Police now revealing that before a 911 call was made, the 2 surviving roommates of a deadly rampage that killed 4 students summoned friends to the off-campus home near the University of Idaho, telling authorities they thought someone on the 2nd floor had, quote, passed out and was not waking up.
At 1:51 a.m., they grab food from the truck window and walk out of frame. Police confirm that at this point they get picked up by a car service, and about 6 minutes later, they arrive at home on King Road. According to an affidavit, Ethan and Zana are already in the house along with 2 other roommates. According to an affidavit, Ethan and Zana are already in the house along with 2 other roommates. According to an affidavit, Ethan.
You know, and here's another thing. If I was an investigator, okay, and they cleared Jack S. very, very, very fast. But did they ask the questions that should have been asked? Why didn't you talk to them on the way over to the grub truck? And then at the grub truck, they didn't talk to you at all. They totally ignored you. What was the deal there? Why were they snubbing you? Why did Maddie look at you and point the finger and say, "Fuck you, mister"? Something is stinky in Moscow.
And Zana are already in the house along with 2 other roommates.
If we don't have the whereabouts of the 2 survivor roommates on the night of the slayings, who's to say they were even home? If so, what were they planning?
Now, Rob McQueen used to live in that very same rented home where these murders occurred. And he says that these killings would have required a lot of planning.
And then once you move from that sliding glass door, you're run directly into the entrance to a bedroom, and then to your right, you have to go up the stairs. And when you think about a 3rd floor, you have to think of this in college housing, right? So when you move up to that 3rd floor, it's a narrow stairway. It enters into a very, very small hallway, and then the entrance to 2 rooms. The room that the murders took place in and another room that was unoccupied. And that is a really, just the layout and the complexity of getting to that part. You could either be completely not worried about the impact of what would happen to you should you be caught, or you had to diligently plan and understand the layout of that house to move in and actually leave that space without like really causing alarm and being caught.
The sliding door was left unlocked, and there was no sign of forced entry. The killers know exactly when to enter the home, which rooms to enter, and which rooms not to enter. Based on this information, is it possible one of the surviving roommates was actually a mole?
Whole
Okay, and that is my good friend there, Casper West. Make sure you subscribe to him if you haven't already. Always has good videos. They're always awesome videos. You can check that out. 22,000 views from 4 months ago, and he usually gets to the point. And yeah, yeah, from what I heard, Cryptic is this you might as just say it, okay, it's a rumor. All right, we'll just say it's a rumor. But from what I heard, the FBI told them there's no case against Brian Kohlberger, but they went ahead with it. That's what I've heard. The FBI, that's why they don't want nothing to do with it. They told them there was no case against Brian Kohlberger. That's what I've heard. If it's true or not, I don't know. But the way it looks, they really don't want nothing to do with it. But it could be because they did some illegal shit. And they don't want this what's going on with the IGG out there at all. This has blown that shit wide open. And things are going to come out about this, and it's going to change some things, and there might be some new laws and regulations on this by the time this is over because of this case. That's my opinion. Okay, let's see what everybody's saying here today. Oh, you guys are chatting up a storm. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's a good one, Carrie. Maybe the mole was Hunter J. He was always hanging around and didn't live there. Yeah, he was in control of the house. Because it used to be a frat house until they got those girls in there. That's why those guys were always there, because they're used to being there. It was their part. It was a place for that. What do they call it? A satellite house. That's what they call it, a satellite house, where like frats like Sigma Chi can go to and drink, because they're not supposed to drink at the Sigma Chi play house. They have to drink somewhere else. So they call them satellite houses. And that was a frat house. And Hunter J was in charge of that frat house until those girls got in there. So there still could be some like weird Greek shit going on. Who knows? I mean, it's just strange. And Hunter J was always there. Good point. Let's see. Yeah, David. Yeah. That just, and that's what they did with all of them, 51 terabytes. They plopped it on their desk and said, here. So, you know what that almost makes me think is that they didn't even go through it. That's what it makes me think. Because why didn't they just hand them the pieces? Or they're just trying to make it so hard on Ann Taylor. And that probably is more like it. Hand her over 51 terabytes and say, here you go. Here you go. Have fun. We know where everything is at that we're going to use and not use. You know what? That is more important than what they use. It's what they don't use. But yeah, here are 398 gigabytes. Here you go. Plop again. Plop right on the desk. There you go. Bunch of bullshit. Now, I guarantee you that video from Floyd's weed shop or whatever it's called is not in there. It won't be in there. Right on, Eddie. Eddie, I need to get your email or something. Email me at once upon a crime, all capital letters, once upon a crime time, at gmail.com. And because I'd like to get you on, and I'll have Kathleen send you, she's the one that sets up my stuff. I'll have her give you an email. Because I'd like to get you back on. It's been a long time since you've been on, brother. Okay, so what else we got here? Yeah, I wonder that myself, Bubs. I do. I do. And there's something wrong. Oh. I want to show you something. I forgot about this. I was going to show this in a show. And I can't really see here. Who was it from? Might have been from one of my mods. Yeah, I gotta show you this. Oh, wait a minute. No. Did I download that damn thing? Maybe I downloaded it. I should have looked to see who it was from. Whoever it was from, I'm sorry. I'm gonna probably get it from my download file. Oh, come on. Okay, I got it. I just got to, I suppose I could read the whole thing until it gets to the part that I really want you to see, okay? Is this the first one? I don't think so. I got 3. This must be it. Okay, so we're going to go over this quick. I'm going to, let me see here if I can do this. Okay, so right here, I want to make sure that you guys are seeing this. Okay, yeah, you guys see it, right? Okay, so I'm going to read this. Investigation leads to Idaho arrests in large-scale drug trafficking conspiracy. But I'm going to show you something different about this, all right? I'm going to talk about something a little different. Okay, a large-scale organized crime, and drug enforcement task force investigation has resulted in the federal indictments of 10 Magic Valley defendants on drug trafficking charges. U.S. Attorney Josh Hurwitz announced this week an additional 10 defendants have been charged in Idaho state courts for their actions connected to the conspiracy. This investigation is a result of outstanding partnership and teamwork between local law enforcement in the Magic Valley and the Idaho State Police and the DEA said U.S. Attorney Hewitt. I am grateful for the trust they have placed in my office to work hand in hand with them to keep their community safe. According to the indictments, the defendants possessed and distributed large quantities of methamphetamines throughout the Magic Valley area. During these investigations and arrests, federal and state law enforcement officers seized over 30 pounds of methamphetamine. According to court records, it is alleged that several of these individuals traveled to Arizona and California to obtain methamphetamine that they brought back to Idaho for distribution. Okay, now there's that. I want you to listen to this. According to court records, it is alleged that several of these individuals traveled to Arizona and California to obtain methamphetamine that they brought back to Idaho for distribution. Okay, now let's take a look at the next page. Let's see. Can I do it this way, or is it going to go to something else? Oh, no. Okay, so let me bring up the other one. Now, is this the one I'm looking for? I do believe so. Yeah, this is the one I want to talk about. There's 3 pages, but this is the one I really want to talk about because it's going to show you something. Okay, so here we go, right? As part of the OCDETF investigation, the following individuals have been charged with federal drug violation. Oscar Alejandro Perez Gomez. Huh! Where's that guy from? 32 of Jerome. Sure. Was indicted for conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine, 5 counts of distribution of methamphetamine, and 1 count of possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine. Does this sound like a guy right here? Does this sound like a guy that would be part of the Aryan Nation? The Aryan Nation doesn't control shit. It's the cartels. I'm telling you. The people that remember my phone call to Rory, and I explained how shit works. Well, what's going on now, and since my time, is that the kings that used to be from this country are no longer. The cartels are sending their own kings, their own bishops, their own knights. And then they get the pawns to do their dirty work. What's the next one? What's the next name? Patrick Dela Cruz, 40 of Jerome, was indicted for conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine and possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine. Leonardo Espinoza Romero, 31 of Jerome, was indicted for conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine. Does any of these names sound like they would be part of the Aryan Nation? Daniel D. Thomas, there is one name that could be, maybe, possibly. 47 of Jerome was indicted for conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine and possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine and cocaine. And Artemio Morgan Hurtado, 34 of Shoshone, was indicted for conspiracy to distribute methamphetamine and use for a communication facility or commit or facilitate a felony. Luis Enrique Gonzalez. How much more do I got to go on? How much more do I got to go on? Every one of them. Jesus Arturo Jerez Herrera. Oh yeah, that's that's Aryan Nation, right? No. Here's one that could maybe Raquel May 28 of Twin Falls, and Robert Traglia. But I'm telling you, because of my own experience, that this is what's going on in the United States, is they're sending in people to be kings instead of having American citizens do it. And they're not going to have Aryan Nation people do that. I'm telling you, they're not. There's somebody that's bigger than the Aryan Nation that's there, that would be supplying them, maybe. Because the Aryan Nation doesn't, how do you, when I was in that business, I never paid a frickin' dime up front. Everything was fronted to me. Everything was fronted to me. But who was in charge? It sure the hell wasn't me. And it sure the hell wasn't anybody from this country. There was people in charge of me from this country, watching me, making sure I got the money handed over. They're pawns. But that is what I wanted to present. Yeah, I know that, Bubbly, and that's another. When I heard that, quite a while back, that had me going for a while too. Hunter J's stepdad, his name is Adam. So what Adam was Maddie talking about? See, we don't have the film. We don't have the film from inside that club. And I haven't heard of any of that film going to be being used for the prosecution. Well, why don't they? Did they hand that over? Did they hand that over? Because I think there is clues, definitely clues in the film inside that bar, that corner bar. I almost guarantee it. Anyway, getting all worked up at noon, around noon. You know me and how I get. It's from what we heard, yes, he did go to the ER that morning. Yeah, well, we want to know more about that too. We want to know more about that. I just find that a odd coincidence that he had to go to the ER that morning, the morning of his daughter was killed. I find that quite strange. Not saying he's involved. I'm not going to go there. I'm just saying things look really fishy. Yeah. A lot of good chatting going on. I agree with that, Deborah. Yep. You know I do. You know I do. Well, I didn't know that. Canadian true crime buff. Espino, Romero, and Perez Gomez Patrick de la Cruz are set to go to trial for other offenses on October 26th, 28th, and 24th. Oh, and there's no doubt, huh, Eddie? That I think that's really important. Really important footage, and I'm hoping Anne's asking for that. I'm hoping she wants that. I'm sure she does. I'm sure she's on it. Because I think that's really important. I think that's really important. Well, because that would show if Maddie was talking to Adam for a while, and that would prove it if that is the Adam that we're, the Adam. I'll just say the Adam. Oh, anyway, so. Oh, yeah, hour and 13. All right, that's pretty good for a Javatime. I haven't done a Javatime in a long time, man. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with you. A lot of you guys have not seen, and a lot of you like watching my bands and shit like that. But a while back, I've always used to do this. I just go on improv jamming. Now I'm going to show you that before I show you another video of Ghost my band Ghost. That's right from a studio that does videos. So anyway, some improv guitar and this was like 10 minutes long. So I did some cutting. And just to throw it together, just to show you, because you guys have never really seen me do anything. So, yeah, that's what I've got for you. So, anyway, I love all of you very much. You guys are awesome. And my subs, you are my heart, and my mods are my soul. And until next time, rock and roll. And here's Tommy Jude jamming improv. See you later.
my body, like a tattoo. Yeah, yeah. Hey, hey. But I cross my heart and I hope to find that I'll only stay with you one more night. And I know I said it a million times, but I'll only stay with you one more night. Yeah, baby, give me one more night. Yeah, baby, give me one more night. Yeah, baby, give me one more night.
Damn, love couldn't go no further. Proud of and disgusted by her. Push on the little bruised and battered. Oh Lord, I ain't coming home with you. My life's a bit more colder. Damn, wife is what I told her. Brass knife sinks to my shoulder. Oh babe, don't know what I'm gonna do. I see my redhead mess bed, tear shed, queen bee miss squeeze. The stage smells, tells, hells, bells, misspells, knocks me on my knees. It didn't hurt, flirt, blood, squirt, stuff, shirt like me on a tree. After I count down 3 rounds in hell, I'll be in good company. Damn, love couldn't go no further. Proud of and disgusted by her. Push on a little bruised and battered. Oh Lord, I ain't coming home with you. My life's a bit more colder. Damn, wife is what I told her. Brass knife sinks to my shoulder. Oh babe, don't know what I'm gonna do. I see my redhead mess bed, tear shed, queen bee must squeeze. The stage smells, tells, hells, bells, misspells, knocks me on my knees. It didn't hurt, flirt, blood, squirt, stuff, shirt like me on a tree. After I count down 3 rounds in hell, I'll be in good company. In hell, I'll be in good company. In hell, I'll be in good company.
you.